frequently get sidetracked, put off activities whenever you can, and prioritize high important things last. Could this situation, which affects the entire planet, be resolved? Is it possible to reclaim your ability to focus and manage your time naturally? Let's find out. Busy versus productive. Does being productive mean that I'm being busy, or does being busy mean that I'm being productive? How can we measure and track productivity in the best way possible? I'm sure many of you might consider that if we had been multitasking, then we had been productive. But is it really the case, though? Allow me to digress for a minute to make a point. The majority of modern society employs Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak's greatest inventions. Rosa Parks' notable action on that bus that helped launch a civil rights movement against racism, and Henry Ford, who designed the first automobile and managed the company he founded. These are all outstanding accomplishers who rose to fame, not as a result of a string of victories, because of one exceptional achievement that helped change the course of history. The other day, my classmate and I were working on a project together when he started complaining about how stressed he was. That conversation set me thinking about how easily we throw around terms like stress and overwork in our day-to-day lives. I'm certain that many of the individuals here have experienced days where they couldn't bear to bring themselves to even go to work. When we claim to be overworked, this false notion generates a false definition of productivity. Unfortunately, because of this, many harmful and toxic influences could be seen throughout various environments. Although this way of thinking tends to decrease our productivity levels, do you think that maybe our society rewards such a thing? Moreover, this misperception of productivity could be seen throughout several civilizations around the globe, where romanticization and glorification of work seems to be the new trend of representing our value and worth. Missing deadlines, not submitting homework, and last-minute studies. Who likes any of those, am I right? Forgetfulness is a living reality. I realized that when both me and my friend were spending late nights studying topics that could have been completed way sooner. How many of you here could honestly say they've experienced something such as burnout? Because I can. I just felt the need to answer the big and obvious why. Look around you, discover how we're all involved in this. I, for one, can personally attest that when I'm feeling unproductive and inefficient due to the toxic environment present around me or burnout, it causes me to feel demotivated and even guilty at times. A recent experimental study among undergraduate students in Nigeria to reduce academic burnout using rational emotive behavioral therapy, REBT, has shown that individuals experiencing this allude to feeling pessimistic, low self-efficiency, and even debilitation. Research from the Queen's School of Business and the Gallup's organization had shown that disengaged employees had a 37% higher absentee rate, a 49% higher accident rate, and a 60% higher rate of mistakes and defects. This further proves how the toxic misperception of productivity correlates to this toxic environment we're present around. Wow, that is a lot of data and statistics. Now, what I really want to ask is, if only there were a way to prevent students like myself and like you from staying up until 4 in the morning trying to memorize large chunks of information, since all these other chores were taking too long and could have been prioritized better. Could an application, perhaps, be the solution to all of these problems? I've been working on a straightforward to-do list application prototype called Cherry. Yes, folks, you heard me right, Cherry. Many of you might be curious as to why I gave it the name Cherry, but I was truly inspired by the phrase cherry on top of a job well done. This prototype would set a leading example for many astonishing and aspiring creators out there. Furthermore, this prototype could be also purposefully inserted between societies and communities to avoid the widespread idea that toxic productivity occurs naturally. Close your eyes for a moment and visualize with me. You've set priorities for your studies and jobs in your synchronized schedule before the day even begins. You've got inquiries to help pinpoint your exact and precise productivity levels. And you're getting constant notifications and reminders telling you to take breathers for the sake of your mental well-being. This is how the leading prototype attempts to artificially combine several components of your day into a better whole for you. Now that your eyes are open, I want you to consider how the application would attempt to focus on your natural environment and the way your mind alters. More importantly, the prototype would focus on your mental well-being and enable you to avoid burnout and many other stress-related disorders. Most colleagues might suggest the Pomodoro technique, a time management strategy that divides your working hours into 25-minute blocks, in case you're not familiar with it. However, according to entrepreneur.com, it takes roughly 23 minutes to actually enter our working zone. So this method of working or learning tends not to fail you, but there certainly are more accustomed methods for each and every individual out there. Cherry will be there for you when your classmates or coworkers aren't. It enables you to be a better version of yourself and have greater potential in your surroundings. For instance, when a task is checked off, the leading prototype would ask you a set of questions to maximize your productivity and entertain your efficiency levels. The questions could go like, how difficult was this task to complete? Or was the timing on this task acceptable? Every step of the way, the prototype will be there to guide you. In addition, with the aid and permission of other existing software, the humanistic AI would offer the users with unique experiences whenever they desperately need that short and momentarily break to visit something such as their happy place. The prototype would do so by supporting the users with virtual reality videos, including scenes like serene jungles and stunning beaches, and many other more picturesque settings. Now, if the prototype, that I say again, would be such a great example for many of the other prototypes out there, were to be implemented throughout schools, not only would it improve the students' performances, but it would also allow the teachers to determine the optimal environment for each and every one of their classes. The prototype is quite potent thanks to its many benefits and features. To permanently terminate the overwork culture, something that we all despise, the prototype could also be permanently implemented throughout the staff, managers, and even upper directors. So, what exactly is true productivity? Our main question. Most of you tend to refer to as accomplishing more work in a shorter amount of time, which I think of that to be completely untrue, since it focuses on the quantity of the work rather than the quality. To sum up my talk, the secret of productivity is to enhance and better our environment, and there's nothing wrong whatsoever with using artificial means or tools to do so. Try it to believe it. Thank you.